Everyone knows the story of the Titanic, the White Star Line's prized new ship that famously sank in 1912. No really simple explanation of why it sank is that it struck an iceberg, but there's 4 key variables that caused the ship to ultimately sink. Let's dive into this icy discussion. Captain Edward Smith was ultimately responsible for the safety of the ship, the crew, and the passengers. Staying on course at the high rate of speed the ship was traveling proved to be a disastrous decision. Reducing speed could have given the crew more time to act and avoid the iceberg. Had Smith survived, he may have been held responsible for the Titanic's accident. Perhaps Iceberg Training 101 said for the ship to swerve to avoid the iceberg, but a head-on collision, though more violent for those on board, may not have created the devastating punctures along the ship's side that ended up sinking it. Titanic collided on its starboard side, causing heavy damage. Head-on would have distributed the impact differently and could have possibly made the difference between arriving in New York and arriving at the bottom of the North Atlantic. The design flaws of the Titanic also played a huge role in its sinking. Perhaps due to cost savings, White Star Line did not equip the ship with a double hull. That made it more vulnerable to iceberg damage. Also, the materials used were not as durable as they should have been, which meant the compartments flooded more rapidly. David Blair, a guy not often heard about, was going to be the ship's second officer, but he was replaced at the last minute. He forgot to pass along the key to the locker where the binoculars for the crow's nest were stored. As a result, the Titanic had 2 men looking for icebergs with the naked eye. One of the men later said that with those binoculars, the ship would have been saved. A combination of these factors and possibly others all contributed to the Titanic's wreck. Bad decisions coupled with an instinct to steer the ship away from the threat and the lack of one particular storage locker key all cost 1,500 people their lives and sealed Titanic's fate in the depths of the ocean and the pages of history.